Hello, welcome to Ask Sue London. I'm your host, Sue London, and I want to welcome you to today's show because today we have a special topic that everyone needs to join in on, and we're all going to learn something. We're talking about animal adoption. And we've got my wonderful dear friend, she's back again, Kyla Gibson, and she's the manager from Pet Value. And you'll remember we talked about her joining Buddy and I together and how the miracles happen. So today we're going to talk about pet rescues, pet adoption, being responsible when you adopt. But before I talk to Kyla, I want to just tell you, some of you don't know who I am, and I just want to tell you where I fit in with all this. I am an animal communicator, but much more. I feel exactly what your pet goes through physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. I have crossed over twice, and I connect with the pets on the other side, and I connect with the pets here. So if you have just rescued a pet and you're not sure what's going on with them, let's talk, book a session, and then I can help you to really understand what your pet's needs are, what their emotional stuff is, and I can even tell you what happened to them. So that can help you to understand what your pet's been through. So that will help you more of what you're going to do to help with their needs. Now, let's get started. Kyla, I want to welcome you back. I am so thrilled to have you here, my friend. We always have fun together.
Absolutely, and I'm so happy to be back joining you guys. Thank you again for having me.
Well, you're also known as we talk about as Auntie Kyla. And I'm going to show you who I brought with me today. Okay, buddy, here you can make your appearance. When Kyla came on before, we talked about the little boy, Buddy, that she matched up for us. And this is Buddy. And this is a rescue boy that somebody came into Kyla's store, the Pet Value in Fort Erie, Ontario, Canada, and said that he had to find a new home for Buddy. Buddy, when we got him, was 22 months old, and he'd been through a lot. Do you want to tell them briefly what Buddy had been through?
So much. For such a little guy, he has been through a lot. But, yeah, he came in, he was being neglected, partially because the owners weren't, they forgot they had him.
Mm-hmm.
And, he really has gone through the ringer, but,
Mm-hmm.
that's why, it feels so rewarding to have been able to be a part of his journey and helping him find you and
Yeah.
Ross and
Oh,
Marley. And he has the perfect family now, and everything happens for a reason, right? So,
absolutely. And what I really love about you, you're very responsible when you find homes for all of these animals that you're helping home. Um, Everything fell into place. If you didn't see our previous show or some of my other shows, Kyla was really instrumental in helping us to help Marley because our boy Gus had crossed over and Marley was really struggling with the loss of his friend. And so I'd go in and visit Kyla and go into the Pet Value store. And every time Kyla would say, Marley's getting worse. And I said, I know, we've got to, Gussie said he's sending his replacement and it's just a matter, let's keep our eyes open. But I'm really busy. So Kyla, that's your job. You find, but our replacement. And then it was just, remember that you called me and I had an hour and a half window. I went in. Now, and then we knew this was our boy. And before Ross even knew what had happened, I've already said yes. But, it all was perfect. And he gets lots of love and he's like spoiled. And he had the issues with the car rides. If you haven't seen this, Buddy had never been in a car, but he was traumatized. And I would send Kyla videos. Those videos were pretty bad, weren't they? In the beginning, he was beside himself.
absolutely. But our most recent update on his car trips and how far he has come, and we're just so proud of him.
Right? Yeah, I sent Kyla a picture of Buddy actually sleeping in the car. So anyone who has problems with their pets in the car, that are really traumatized and think they'll never pass. For Buddy, it was a past life experience that caused that, and I was able to clear that. So that was the biggest gift for us. Now, you've met Buddy. He's a cutie, right? This is what Kyla can do for you, is get you a cutie as well. Now, let's talk about someone wants to get a pet. They don't know, should it be a dog, a cat, a mouse, whatever. How do you work with them to know what pet is best for them? Let's talk about that first.
Well, I mean, I usually suggest, make a list of attributes that you're looking for in a pet. Lifestyle and things like that make a huge difference into what pet may work best for you. If you work a lot of hours and in and out and busy schedules and stuff like that, maybe cat may work better for you, as they're fairly self-sufficient that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's do your homework for
Right.
sure.
And I know a lot of people that, you may have allergies. Now, is there a specific, I know the different breeds of dogs, like we've got, Buddy is part Shih Tzu, part Bichon. Is a Bichon hyperallergenic? I don't
I
know. My
believe
putting
the
you
Bijans
on.
usually are.
Yeah, because I
Um,
know the Shih Tzus are, because we've taken our guys into sick kids hospitals and they had to be hyperallergenic and they don't shed. But I just
mhm,
wasn't sure about the Bichon, but he does have to get his hair cut.
yeah.
So now are there specific breeds of cats that are
There are
hyperallergenic?
some. There's
Okay.
probably not as many breeds of cats that are hypoallergenic as there are
Okay.
dogs. I know for sure generally the Sphinx cats, they are
Okay.
the hairless cats.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
right.
I know some people can be put off by the fact that they are hairless, but
Yeah,
let
they're
me
cute.
tell you, they make up for it tenfold in personality.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
there may be a couple others as well, but that's something I would have to look into a little further to be
Yeah.
100% sure. But that's why
Now,
I also like to specify that, doing
yeah,
your homework is important, because you can't always trust what people are advertising as well. Um,
right.
that was something I also wanted to mention when you're looking into adopting or rehoming.
Mhm.
Definitely do your research, because there's so
Right.
many scams and things like that out there nowadays. So sometimes that's
Mhm.
why it's nice that we have some very reputable like local rescues, and
Mhm.
those types of rescues are available all over the world as well. It's a matter of, you can punch it into Google, your
Okay.
local rescues for your
Okay.
area specifically, and they will generally populate with local rescues in wherever your area may be.
Okay,
But
that's good to know. That's good to know. Yeah, because I see a lot of ads and you don't know. First of all, I'm not comfortable going to a stranger's home, because you
exactly,
don't know what you're getting into, and I want to know about them. Now, for me, I'm different than everyone else in the way that I can connect and I can see a whole film of that pet's life in as I'm looking at them or touching them or seeing the picture. But not everybody can do that or is doing that, right? So you want to work with someone who's reputable. Auntie Kyla here now is like my go-to, and she knows, like, in our area you're only allowed to have so many pets. So anytime I would need another one, or she'll know when the Londons are in need again, because I know once you have two, I like, or more, you always have to have two if you've always had two, because the one left behind always grieves, and people don't understand that.
absolutely.
They go into like the loneliness and that, right? And that's what we went through with Marley. I've had that with every one of our pets that have gone. Now let me ask you, so when someone comes to you and they say, maybe they're an older person and they live in an apartment and they want to get a dog. What do you look at as an example that this older person's coming to you? They're now retired. They want to get a dog. They don't know a breed. What what's the process you go through so that they understand, so they can kind of be thinking in advance some of the questions you might ask them?
For sure. So in that particular example, because having one, they're seniors, two, being in an apartment, so you'd have to consider options like a large breed dog would not be ideal
No.
because you're going to have stairs to deal with. So, and again, being senior, uh,
Mm-hmm.
they may not have the physical capability to handle the large breed dog. That's how I actually ended up with one of mine, um,
Right.
because they could not handle her physically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she was just too big, and it was an accident waiting to happen. So,
Yeah.
definitely I would consider the living arrangements as well as
Okay.
their age, the age
Okay.
of the pet as well.
Right.
Now, I wouldn't necessarily suggest a puppy per se, as they are a lot of work and having to go in and out so frequently, and
Yeah.
um, even just the fact that getting them in and out of the house or apartment, if that
Yeah.
example, the if your dog is going to become a senior as well at some point, so are
Right.
you going to have the means to manage moving this dog up and down
Mm-hmm.
stairs if things like their hips start to go, or their eyes, or whatever the case may be? Because you do have
Mm-hmm.
to think long term as well.
Well, and that's what I was going to say to you, because, what do people do when they get older and they have to go in nursing homes? What happens to their pets? They
And
can't take them with them in most cases, right? I'd say almost all of them, really,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
So I have had a few customers who had been looking, but again, they didn't want to go with a young dog because
Hmm.
then the dog very well may outlive them, and they would have to find arrangements
Right.
for the pet after they've gone, right? So,
Right. Yeah.
I did have a lady who was considering a middle to senior age dog,
Hmm.
um, specifically because she wasn't sure she was going to get another one at all.
Hmm.
But when I mentioned, well, maybe it's because, again, there are a lot of older dogs that are in these rescues that kind of get
Forgotten.
put aside because
Yeah.
people don't know how much longer they may have with them. And when you get attached, I understand that it would be
Hmm.
hard to lose
Hmm.
your dog after only having them for possibly a year or two.
Yeah.
But dogs like that may work better for someone in a more senior type environment or age. So that would be something to consider as well.
And I'm one, I always say to people, your pet will pick you. That they are going to sense what your needs are. They're going to sense your energy. They're going to know if you're the right fit for them. And I've always said that the right dog that's for us, that it will lick my face. Now we had only got the one dog, Marley, actually, as a puppy. Now we did get Willie as a puppy, but we knew the family, and the mother had crushed all the puppies, and there was only Willie and his brother Jacques that were alive, but he had health problems from being crushed. So I took him, but every other pet we've ever had has been a rescue. And even as being rescues, meeting them. Well, I think even with Buddy, he was licking us as well, wasn't he? But I just knew before I think didn't, I don't know how that worked. It was Marley that chose the whole situation at the start, wasn't it? Because this man came in, and that's where we saw Marley started wagging his tail with that man. And
Yep,
then it
and
was the
he started
next
taking
day.
treats and just
Right.
was
And that
a total 180 in
yeah,
his mood just in a matter of minutes.
that's right. And then we didn't meet Buddy until it was the next day, wasn't it? I think that's
Yes.
how it was, right? There's so much happening in our lives that it's trying to keep track of my own dog stories because I'm working with so many. But yeah, and I remember that, like, even with that, Buddy was licking our face. So every pet that I've gotten, they lick my face, and that's how I know that that's the right one for me. And even with Marley as being a puppy, there was like three of them. I sat on the floor, and there was a few of them, and then one came over to me and started licking my face, and my whole family was there, and they said, that's our new pet, that's your new dog, Mom. And that's, Marley and I are inseparable. So, if and I'm sure, Kyla, that when, say, someone comes in to meet the pet, you feel intuitively in yourself that if it's a match too, right? Like, have you ever said to people, I don't think this is a good fit? Have you ever, like?
100%. And that is something that I have seen in the pet store. And that's why
Mhm.
finding the right person for the right dog and vice versa is so
Yep.
important, because
Yep.
I see all too often people will adopt a dog just based off
Mhm.
of their breed or
Cute
their
thing.
look.
Yeah.
And prime example, I had one in the other day, got this dog as a puppy. He's a bully, but very uneducated on the breed itself, never have
Mm.
owned a dog previously.
Mm.
This was not the right dog for them. Now he's showing
Mm.
signs of aggression, and now they're possibly looking at finding him a new home. So
And
bringing
that's
this dog
hard.
in as a puppy, and now he's going to
Yeah.
end up in a rescue situation because they were not
Yeah.
prepared.
And that's not fair to the pet. So, like,
It's
you
not.
listening, if you're thinking about getting a pet, you got to be responsible with this. You don't just bring in a bunny because it's Easter and then take it out in the field a couple months after, when your kids don't think it's fun anymore. You got to be responsible, and like puppies at Christmas or kittens, you've got to look at
Exactly.
a bigger picture, your lifestyle, right?
This
Um,
is a life at the end of the
right.
day. So, and it's
Exactly.
not something to be just jumped at because, oh, it's so cute.
Right.
You need to take into consideration the good and the bad, because it's gonna
Exactly.
come.
And and
And
and yeah, and you have to have patience too, right? You got to persevere. If it's a rescue, you know that they need your love, they need your understanding, they need your support. I had
yeah,
a
you
client
don't know their
earlier,
previous history or
right?
what they've been through. And
Right.
that was another thing I wanted to mention as well, is
Mhm.
if you are looking into rescuing, check out their websites first. See
Okay.
who they have available, because even right now we have one dog that's in one of our local rescues, and
Yeah.
he has been there for half of his life, because what happens is, if you just go in to look and see what they have and
Yeah.
whatnot, which doesn't hurt either, but
Hmm.
in this guy's particular case,
Hmm.
because if they know who you're there to look at, they will bring them out to you to meet you and things like that. If you're just wanting to go in and look, you're going back into areas where they may be in a pen. In this guy's particular case, he feels trapped in the cage. So he has yet to be adopted, because anybody who comes in, they see him barking and jumping at the gate, and he's a big breed, so they're put off. He comes
Hmm.
across as aggressive, but he's not.
Hmm.
It's a fear reaction
Yeah.
because of what he's
Understandably.
been through. He's
Yeah.
spent more than half of his life in a cage. So
Yeah.
when you come
That's
into
true.
his space, he gets a little freaked out about it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but as soon as he comes out of that cage, completely different dog. As friendly
Hmm.
as could be, as loving as could be, but that's someone's first reaction, is when they see him
Hmm.
reacting that way, right? So that's why keeping an open mind too is very
Yeah.
important when you're going through this type of a process.
Yeah, and it's not like you're just going to get something and throw it out, or you make this commitment. It's like, for better for worse, that pet is yours, and put the work in. It needs you. You're saving a life, and you don't know the background, the stories that both Kyla and I see, I feel. It's horrific what these little pets are going through that are rescues, and they just want your love. They want you to support them and tell them they're good. They want to hear you say, "You're a good dog. I love you," or "You're a special cat, and I'm so happy to have you." These are words you need to say to them. That's why I'm here. Kyla, this is why she's here. She will help you to find the right pet. We are going to put on your email address again on the description. Is that okay? And then
Absolutely.
we'll put the address again where you are, which is the Pet Value in Fort Erie, Ontario, Canada. This girl, I trust completely, 100,000% that she can help you get the right pet for you. Now, is there anything that, like, this time's gone fast? I can't believe it. Is there
I
anything
know.
that we did not talk about around this topic that you wanted to share? I know you're looking at your list there. We were really good at making sure we stayed very focused here on this topic.
Yes, so that ask questions. The people running these rescues know their dogs that they have there. So
Mhm.
always ask questions. No, there's no such thing as a stupid question.
No.
So because you want to be prepared, you want to do right by the pet that you could be bringing home. So
Yeah.
any question is open, and that's a you Sue has provided the email. So if
Mhm.
there are any questions, if I definitely send an email. We're here to help.
Right.
And if we can point you in the right direction or give you a few helpful tips, that's what we're here for.
Right. So, and I can tell you folks that, there's not a better joy when you, have a broken animal come into your life. And, when they lick your face, or when you see them sleeping in the back seat after, the stuff they've been through in their past. It's just the biggest gift that you feel when you just know they feel at home, and you've given them that healing, that love, that environment. And, it's just great. I mean, look at how cute he is. And you've got one
I
beside you too. Do you want to
know.
bring her on the screen too? Is she, because you've got a little rescue there too, right?
And this is one that 100% chose me. This is Snow White.
Yeah. And Snow White's like the one, the boss in that house, right? Keeps the dogs under
Yeah,
control.
she's our princess, so
Yeah.
it's everything revolves around her. But as long as she's got my lap there available, she's happy.
Yeah, and a lot of times people aren't aware with me, but I can have either dog on my knee as well, and it's like the best medicine. If you're having a stressful day or that, pets, they give us unconditional love. They ease our pain, and they give us the courage and strength to keep going. And look, at Buddy wants to have some words with everyone to say, please give my friends a home, please help my friends. But
Absolutely.
so it is worth it. You got to put the work in though for a lot of these pets that are rescues. But you've got two of us here on this call today that can help you. Any questions? Will you come back, my friend? We have lots we can
Of
talk about.
course. Absolutely.
Well, I hope that something that Kyle and I have said today will help you along your journey, finding the right pet, helping the right pet become part of your family. We want to both wish you much love and many blessings, and have a fantastic day. And we'll see you again next week. Bye bye.